Hi, this is Misty Winters, and this is Exposing Success. I'm a little behind on my weekly podcast. I haven't been feeling good. I'm not going to give you details, but being a girl sucks, so you can read between the lines. Um, so today we're going to talk about 6 truths of getting healthy um, that are kind of hard truths. So these are the 6 hard truths. But first, we're going to have a story. I've talked about my aunt with dementia before. Um, I go and see her often, and um, and there's the same conversations happen pretty much every time I go in there. And as I've mentioned before, I bring her in junk food. She has diabetes. I know I probably shouldn't do that, especially since I preach nutrition. But I feel like the situation's a little bit different because she's not mentally well and it makes her happy. And if that's what makes her happy, it's really one of the very few things she can do that make her happy because she can't do a lot of physical things anymore. So, getting visitors, getting her soda and her treats, and being read to, sometimes that makes her a little bit happy, and some conversations, but she's very limited on the things she can do. So I support her bad habit of junk food. So judge me if you must, but it is what it is. You don't know unless you've been there. So anyway, so I brought her every once in a while. I bring her different things, but um, anytime I bring her M&Ms, I usually bring her peanut. That's her favorite. But sometimes I'll switch it up. But anyway, so last 3 times I've brought her peanut in. There's another lady at the place. Well, there's 2 ladies. One has one tooth, and one has no teeth. And so the one that has one tooth is actually a good friend of hers, and she'll usually sit with us. I'll bring my aunt out of her room and bring her to the dining room and get her out and about, and I feel like that really helps her happiness for the day. Her changes her her whole demeanor and whatever. So anyway, so I bring her out, put her in the dining room, sit with her for a while, talk, chit chat, give her snacks, her treats, all that stuff. So she always wants to share with people. So I bring her a big old bag of M&Ms and one of those, it should take you a week to eat it, and she eats it in one sitting, but she shares it. And so there's a lady that always sits with us. I'm not going to say her name in case anybody knows who it is. And she'll sit with us and she'll say, do you want one? My aunt will say, do you want one? And she'll say, oh no, I can't. And she doesn't say why at that moment. And then my aunt will go, what, you got diabetes or something? And then and then the lady will say, no, I don't have diabetes, I just have one tooth. And then she'll go, oh, well, I didn't even notice. And then my aunt will continue eating the peanut M&Ms. And then she'll ask the lady again, she'll forget, and she'll say, you want one? And then the lady will say, no, no, thank you. And then my aunt will say, what? You got diabetes or something? And it just goes in a circle. Oh my goodness. She doesn't have diabetes. She just has the one tooth. So it makes it really, really hard for her to eat it. And sometimes the toothless lady will chime in. And she has told the one tooth lady that if she just sucks the outer coat of the chocolate off, she can then spit the peanut out. Sorry. Hopefully you have a strong stomach and can handle stories like that. But I thought it was too funny not to share. So anyway, it is entertaining. It also does mentally or emotionally drain me because it is a sad place to be. But because I love my aunt very much, and I wish that she wasn't going through this, but it is also sometimes kind of funny, the stuff that goes on in there. But anyway, so to get back to what we were talking about, so the 6 hard truths. So number 1, it doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't really matter. You still got to do it. You still got to get your gym clothes on, get your gym shoes on, go out for a walk, go out for a run, lift some weights, whatever. And even if it's a day that you're not going to actually lift, it's your rest day. You still got to do all the other things. You still got to eat right. You still really got to count your calories, or at least be aware of what you're eating. And you still got to eat your protein, enough protein for your body. You really should walk every single day, no matter if it's a rest day or not, and no matter how you feel. I mean, like I said, I've been feeling pretty poopy for a solid week, and I've still worked out every single day. Every single day, I get up. I don't even put gym clothes on. I just go in my jammies to my home gym, put some music on, grab a big thing of water, and I just get at it and I sweat. And it might be 15, 20 minutes, but I did it. And it might be something simple like just the rower for the day. But I get in the gym, and I really would like to work out for an hour every day. That's my top goal, but sometimes I can only get in 15 minutes, or sometimes 20 or 30. But every morning, you bet your bottom dollar I'm in my home gym working out. Doesn't matter how I feel. Just doesn't matter. So number 2 is consistency is key. You are not going to see changes unless you are consistently doing the things that you need to do. That's just how it works. And are you going to see changes after 1 week of consistency? No, you're not. You're not. That's just the mature, grown-up way of thinking. You are not going to do things and do all the hard things for 1 week and see changes. I mean, you're not even going to do all the hard things for 2 months and see a whole lot of changes. You're going to be like, oh man, I should have a banging body. No, you shouldn't. How long did it take you to get to where you're at? How many years of neglect have you given your body to get to where you're at? At least give yourself half that time to start looking and feeling the way you want to feel. And it's not going to take half that time. If you've been neglecting your body for 10 years, it's not going to take you 5 years to get back. I'm just saying, use the mature way of thinking, and just think about that logically too. You've been neglecting your body for how many years? Maybe your entire life. Maybe you've never really cared about health and nutrition and fitness. And now all of a sudden you are, and you're like, oh man, I've been going hard at it. No, I'm not seeing any changes, and I've been doing it for 6 months. Well, you probably are seeing changes in 6 months. You've got to have some biofeedback. Regardless if you've got chiseled abs, which you're not going to in 6 months, you're going to have other biofeedback. You're going to have more energy. You're going to be feeling better. You're going to have some little more desire to have more hanky-panky in the bedroom. You're going to just feel better. Your skin's going to look better. Your stomach's going to feel better. You're not going to be as bloated. I don't know if I said energy yet, but you're going to have energy. You're going to have energy for days, which is like number one biofeedback for me. That's everything. Feeling physically better, having your joints feel better, your back will feel better. It's insane, the changes that you'll have. I'm probably going to go a little bit over my 10 or 15 minutes that I try to stay at, but it doesn't ever really get easier, but you do get stronger. I mean, it shouldn't get easier. So, well, I mean, okay, let's say you're lifting 10-pound weights. Well, the 10-pound weights are going to get easier. But if they are getting easier, then you need to move it up to 15 pounds. So when I say it's not going to get easier, going to get stronger, I mean, if it gets easier, you need to move it up. So then it's not going to be easier, but you're just getting stronger, and that's super cool. So, I mean, there at a certain exercise I did at one point, I was at like 8 pounds, and now I'm at 25. And so I've got to see that progression, and it's been super cool to go, oh my gosh, I can do this certain exercise with this much more weight. That's insane. So that's such a cool problem to have, to go, oh, I need to buy heavier weights, or lift, if you go to the gym, lift heavier weights. So it's not really going to get easier, but you are going to get stronger. And every time you get stronger, you need to start lifting more. And so you're going to be in that same spot where you're like, oh, this is hard. Yeah, that's great. That's a good thing. There really are no shortcuts, no secrets. Yeah, there's this fad of this Ozempic thing that's going around, like you're seeing like crazy. Yeah, but you know what? You can't do that forever. It's super expensive. It's terrible for your body. Think of the long-term effects that's going to have on your body if you have taken that shot. And then also, when you stop taking it, you're going to gain all that weight back. And then you're just going to yo-yo, which is also really, really bad for you. If you do it the long, consistent way, that really is, as my trainer has said, my coach, the one that coached me, she says the long way is the short way. Ashley with the Lifestyle Way, that's how she's taught me, and so now I'm coach alongside her, which is such an honor. But anyway, and that's why she says that, because there's no secret, there's no shortcut. It's tough, and if it was easy, everybody would do it. Everybody would be feeling great, would have a banging body, would look younger. Everybody would do it, but people don't want to do it because it's hard and because it takes a long time. But you have to be mature and you have to be grown up and you have to go, hey, it took me a long time to get this way. It's going to take me a long time to get that way. And that's just the hard truth. These are hard truths. This isn't a warm, fuzzy, make you feel good podcast. This is, I love you, I want better for you podcast. And that's speaking the truth. And then another hard truth is nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares either way. Nobody cares if you eat an entire large pepperoni pizza. Nobody cares. Nobody cares if you have grilled chicken and broccoli and you are just reeling in your nutrition, really watching your macros. Nobody cares. So that's the thing. Nobody cares. They don't care if you're doing bad. They don't care if you're doing good. Nobody cares. So you can't look to people to give you a attaboy because nobody cares. And that's hard because some days you're like, man, I really want somebody to pat me on the back and tell me I'm doing a good job. And if you have a coach, they'll do that. And if you have a good spouse, they'll do that. And if you have some biffies, they'll do that. But for the most part, nobody cares. It's you against you. So you just got to do it for yourself. You can't do it so somebody else goes, oh my gosh, you look so good. Or, oh, are you losing weight? No, it doesn't matter. Nobody really cares. And they're only going to see that end result. So while you're working and you're really not seeing a lot in the mirror and you're not seeing a lot of changes and it's really hard and you get really discouraged and nobody else is noticing, you just gotta be, it's back to the maturity thing. You gotta be mature, you gotta be grown up, and you have to say to yourself, nobody flipping cares, and I'm not doing this for anybody. I'm doing this for myself. I'm doing this for my health so that I can feel better in the future and so that I can live a long quality life. I can have quality and quantity. I can have both. Because as you get older, it's no joke. You really start thinking things different. You're like, yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to look good in a bikini? But it's not about that. It's really about feeling good and being able to bend over without my stinking knees hurting, which I used to suffer with. And now I'm doing weighted squats, heavy weighted squats on my knees that I could barely even bend my knee. I mean, that to me is worth so much. You know, if that's not an eye opener for somebody, I don't know how to reach you. And the other hard last truth is it never ends. It's a hard one, right? People are thinking, oh, I'll do this diet for 6 months and I'll look so good for the summer and then I can go, balls to the wall, after the summer, during the holidays, and then I'll start back over January 1st and I'll hit the gym hard and then I'll do this really, really, reel it back for summer so I can look good in a bathing suit again. And then I'll just go crazy for No, you're going to yo-yo the rest of your life. This never ends. This is it for the rest of your life. You need to you need to have some sort of plan that you can stick to, that is something that you can actually do, that's something you can maintain, and you need to do it for the rest of your life. This does not end. This is it. This is it. You need to know your macros. You need to have somebody help you, give you your actual macros for your body, for your lifestyle, for your age, for your weight, all of those things. You need to have somebody that knows what they're doing, that gives you your macros, and that works with you and teaches you the importance of every single macronutrient and teaches you all of the things that you need to be doing. And you need to do those things every single day. So that's also a hard truth. This never ends. This isn't an end like, okay, I just got to go crazy with all of these 15 things every single day for the next 45 days and then I'll be good. No, you don't have to go crazy with all 15 things. You can have 15 things on your list and you may only get 9 of the things done or 3 of the things done. But you know what? You're still moving forward, and one day is just a little, 1 week, even, 9 days, whatever. If you go on vacation for 7 to 9 days and you don't really pay attention to anything and you try to just watch your water and you try to get your steps in, but nothing else, that's no big deal. Because you know why? Because you're doing this for the rest of your life. If you were doing this for 45 days and you took 7 or 9 days out of that 45 days, well, that'd be a really big deal. But since we're doing this for the rest of our lives, it's okay. It's okay to have a slip up, but you need to get right back on the horse ASAP. And because this never ends. So let's go back through them again. So the 6 hard truths are, doesn't matter how you feel. Suck it up, buttercup. Consistency is king is number 2. You just got to stick with it. Doesn't matter how hard you go. It just matters how consistently you do the things you got to do. Number 3, it doesn't get easier. You get stronger. And when that weight does get easier, what I mean by that is you need to lift more so that it is never easier. You're always pushing yourself and you're always adding in another rep. You're always picking up a weight that's a little too heavy for you. That's what that means. There's no shortcuts or secrets. That's number 4. There isn't. There might be something that works for you temporarily, but you're never going to be able to maintain that for the rest of your life. Just be honest with yourself. If it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. That's just how it is. Number 5, nobody cares. Sorry, that's an ugly truth, but nobody cares. And again, you're going to have your core people, your few people that actually care, but for the most part, nobody cares. And they don't care about the day-to-day stuff. Nobody's going to call you every single day unless you have a nutrition coach. Nobody's going to call you and check in on you and see how you're doing daily or weekly. Nobody's going to be like, oh man, how'd you do on your macros? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And they don't care if you ate bad either. If anything, misery loves company. So if you're eating bad, that gives them permission to eat bad, and they'll probably praise you more for eating bad than they would for eating good. And that's just the truth. I mean, how often are you going to be out with friends and they're going to be like, oh man, I'm so proud of you that you got grilled chicken and asparagus and red potatoes on the side with water. I'm so proud of you. No, that's not going to happen. They're going to be like, girl, get the buttery steak with ribs and double carb sides and, 3 things of alcohol and live it up and live your best life. That's what they're going to say. That's what most people are going to say. So nobody cares on either side. Nobody cares if you eat right. Nobody cares really if you eat bad. But misery does love company. So you are going to get more praise for eating bad. And that's just facts. This is called hard truths, not fun, fuzzy truths. And at the very last, the 6th one, and I'm sure there's more, but this is just Misty's top 6 hard truths. It never ends. This is it. This is your life. And I promise it's a good life. If you do the things that are going to make you feel better It is a much better life than eating whatever you want and feeling like crap the rest of the day, and then feeling like crap the rest of the week and the rest of the month and the rest of the year, because you just keep adding on to that and just keep eating bad and just keep making bad choices that don't move you forward. Because as time goes on, you're just going to slowly gain more weight, slowly feel worse, and it'll become harder and harder to reach the goals that you want to reach and to feel the way that you want to feel. And again, I'm not talking about just looking good in a bikini, but you can. You can. I posted pictures recently that my wedding dress that I fit in, I was a teeny tiny little thing when I got married, and that wedding dress is actually a little loose on me. So you can have that goal, but I'm not even saying that. That's not even about this. This is about living your best life. This is about exposing success. And that's my podcast. This is Misty Winters with Exposing Success. Have a blessed day.